Super Mario 64 was the first 3D chapter in the Super Mario universe. The game was originally launched alongside the Nintendo 64 in 1996. It has since been released on the Nintendo DS and Wii. For those not familiar with Mario 64, Bowser invades Peach's castle and imprisons her within. Mario must save her by collecting Power Stars, which can be earned by clearing worlds, navigating mazes, and completing other various challenges. So anyway, Mario saves Peach, she bakes him a cake, and they live happily ever after, and until the next Mario game anyway. So that's all lovely, but what does this have to do with your brain? 2 studies were conducted comparing people's brains before and after training on the game Super Mario 64. And the results are interesting and hopeful. The first research article was published in 2014. In this study, the participants recruited had little to no gaming experience and had never played Super Mario 64 before, and their average age was 24 years old. The participants were divided into 2 groups, a training group and a control group. Initially, all participants had their brains scanned and completed cognitive tasks. Then the training group was instructed to play Super Mario 64 for the next 2 months for at least 30 minutes per day on the Nintendo DS, while the control group did not engage in any video game training. After the 2 months had passed, all participants again completed a MRI and cognitive tasks, so now the researchers can make before and after comparisons. The second study, published in 2017, was similar, except the participants were between the ages of 55 and 75, and they were divided into 3 groups: a video game training group, a music training group, and a control group. The training in between brain scans and cognitive tasks was 6 months in this study. Participants in the second study trained on the Nintendo Wii. Both studies reported an increase in gray matter in the hippocampus and the cerebellum among the participants who trained on Super Mario 64. The study with the younger participants also reported an increase in gray matter in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex of those in the video game group. In both studies, the control group saw age-appropriate decreases in gray matter in these brain structures. The hippocampus is thought to be important for navigation and spatial processing, as well as some components of emotions, learning, and memory. The cerebellum is thought to help learn motor skills and coordinate sensory motor activities, so basically assist with fluid movements of the body, and has also been associated with decision-making and the use of language. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex has been linked to working memory, decision-making, guiding movement like accurately reaching for and grasping an object, and has also been connected to attention switching and eye movement. This is by no means a complete list of functions associated with these brain structures. Earlier, I mentioned these brain structures showed increased gray matter after video game training. So what does that mean? Increased gray matter has been associated with increased functioning of the corresponding brain structure. Decreased gray matter in the hippocampus has been associated with Alzheimer's, cognitive impairments, post-traumatic stress disorder, and schizophrenia. This research offers insight for the potential of incorporating video games into treatment programs for diseases and disorders associated with atrophy of gray matter in these brain structures. More research still needs to be done. Information for the full articles are in the description if you want to check them out.